We've got an exciting lineup and setup for you guys, so hang tight. Coming to you live from Expedition Tanzania here at Reid Park Zoo. Be a couple minutes to get everybody loaded into our chat room, and then we're going to get on to the festivities. So is anyone else celebrating good morning, Susan? Is anyone else celebrating a birthday today? So maybe or were you celebrating a birthday on August 20th with Nandi? I know there's a couple people, and Tucson's birthday. So, oh, hey, we're joined by Cassie. Hi, Cassie.
Hello.
So Cassie's joining us here. So we're just loading everyone into our Zoom chat room. Before we get started, Jen will give us the go ahead. Jen's our main person behind the scenes here. So she's going to be fielding all of your guys' chats. Any questions you guys may have, we are hopefully going to get to at some point, hopefully at the end. We may not be able to get to everybody's, but I know we've got a lot of people signed up from all over the world joining us this morning here for Nandi's big 6th birthday. Pretty exciting stuff. Your team has been working hard.
Yeah, so the team's setting up right now. They've been working hard all morning, trying to get a bunch of exciting enrichment activity for Nandi and her family. So they've been putting out a lot of different specialty food items. We made some special popsicles that have different layers of produce in it and a little bit of fruit flavoring with some juices and things like that. So it's going to be pretty exciting for her.
So we're not quite ready to start yet. So we're still waiting. We got a lot of people out there trying to join in. So hang with us. Make sure you get yourself set here. We'll be live for about 30-40 minutes. So hope you guys are enjoying some coffee, some breakfast, some tea. I don't know, pancakes,
a little
juice maybe, birthday cake. Yeah, maybe birthday cake. Who made birthday cake for Nandi? I'm hoping some of you guys out there made some birthday cake for Nandi.
Her birthday cake's a popsicle, so might as well just enjoy some popsicles today. It's going to be a little bit warm.
Yeah. What do you think, Jen? How are we looking?
I think we have over 100 people joining us today, so I think that we are good to get started. Good morning, and thank you everybody for joining us.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, good morning and welcome to Reid Park Zoo's Growing Up Elephants birthday celebration for Nandi. My name is Jed, and I'm being joined by Cassie, who is our elephant supervisor. Now, I know the first thing on your guys' mind is, where are your masks? Well, we do wear masks here at the zoo, but Cassie and I are married. So we live together. We are in our quarantine bubble together. So therefore, we're able to do this presentation for you guys without a mask on. So you guys can maybe hear us a little bit better and see our lovely smiles.
Yep.
Lovely smiles. So thank you guys for joining us. It's so exciting, Cassie. This is Nandi's 6th birthday, and she's just been an amazing elephant here at Reid Park Zoo. Every year we do a birthday celebration for her. We're going to talk a little bit more about enrichment, all that. But again, your team has been very busy this morning setting up. So why don't you just talk a little bit about what's going on out here right now?
So the team's been working really hard to come up with some naturalistic enrichment for Nandi. She gets really excited about special food items, especially things like watermelons and popsicles. One of her very favorite things is tree branches, though. Elephants eat a lot of tree matter. So we got some extra branches out there and set them up so she can come out and knock those trees down and forage as she likes. We put a few different feeding sites though, so she'll be able to share with her little sister Penzi. So it's going to be a new experience for Penzi to have enrichment like this. It's something she hasn't seen before.
Now, since the keepers are out enriching the area, where are our elephants?
So right now, Nandi is in our elephant barn. So we have a nice climate-controlled barn with heating and cooling. They can stay really comfortable in there while we're setting up their spaces. Some of our elephants are out on the far habitat right now. So we have Mabu Lingili and Sunzu, who are wandering around on the grass yard behind them. They're going to get some treats later today too, but we didn't want to make too much competition for the good stuff. So we're going to have Nandi coming out of the barn in just a little bit with Samba and Penzi.
Okay, so we've got our elephants inside our elephant care facility. Your elephant keepers are just putting the final touches on this birthday celebration. And man, there's stuff set up everywhere. You guys kind of made a virtual forest out there. And as you said, she's got this birthday. Now, what is the birthday cake made out of?
So the birthday cake has layers of ice, and in that ice we have different types of juices and fruit purees. The top layer has some lettuce and a little bit of cucumber. The middle layer has some oranges with a couple other fruit items, and then the bottom is another lettuce layer. On the very tippy top, we have a little bit of Crystal Light and watermelon. So we'll see. She's going to be really excited about everything out here. She might just come and check it out and blow past it to make a tally on everything that's out here this morning.
Now, is the goal to bring Nandi out first and then bring her mom Samba and little sister Penzi?
Yeah, so we're gonna let Nandi come out first and have the first go at it. Nandi's very brave and bold, but sometimes when there's a really exciting thing happening on Habitat, she might get a little bit nervous and want to join up with her family. So we're gonna have her family coming out right after so she can enjoy it with the rest of her group.
Now let's talk about Nandi, the impact that she's had here at our zoo. Obviously the first elephant ever born at Reid Park Zoo. And she was born on Tucson's birthday too. So August 20th, 2014. Take us back to that evening of going through the process of seeing this little calf being born.
Yeah, so it was the very first experience that we've had here at Reid Park Zoo, going through a birth and a new baby elephant. So it was just an amazing experience for us all to see how quickly the rest of the herd bonded and joined her group. It was really special to see. Nandi was born with a lot of personality, and she's very brave and bold from her very first day.
Now, she was born about 245 pounds. Now, at a 6-year-old, how much does Nandi weigh?
So she's about 3,600 pounds.
3,600 pounds, which is good. I mean, that's a great weight for a 6-year-old female elephant, and she's really been meeting all of her milestones from the day she was born to her 1-year birthday, and then even moving up. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. I know we have a training video that you were working with Nandi just the other day to show everyone how amazing she is. But are we ready to let them out?
Yeah, I'm going to tell the team right now.
Okay, we're ready. So you guys get ready and make sure you get your singing voices together, because we're going to sing a happy birthday to Nandi as she comes out. I'm going to get this a little bit closer. We're going to switch over to our web camera here. So, sorry, we've got a motorcycle going by. But we want to hear you guys singing happy birthday. We got a couple of our educators, a couple keepers out here. They're all going to be singing happy birthday. They're social distancing away from us, though. So let's see here. Okay, we're switching our camera around. And let's just give a sec. So now, Cassie, when we bring an elephant out on Habitat, how does that work?
So the elephant will go through a series of hydraulic doors, and for us to best help her move around them, we usually have her travel alongside us on the other side of the fence line. So the keepers are on one side, and they'll call her along the walkway, and she'll come out onto the habitat, and the keeper will let her go, and she can make her own choices as to where she wants to go next. Most likely she's going to come out here and enjoy all this excitement, but if she does get a little worried, we'll have a plan and make sure Samba's coming out quickly so she doesn't feel like it's a one girl party.
I hear the doors opening there. This is, I mean, now you guys do enrichment every day. You change it up every single day. There's a lot out here, though. So like you said, it can be a little distracting for the animals, and she may come out and be like, oh my gosh, what is all this? She may breeze right through just to get an inventory on everything. I do see her. So there is Nandi coming across. We're going to wait till she gets a little bit closer. And then Cassie and I are going to sing happy birthday. We're hoping you guys are singing happy birthday with us. But as she comes across. All right, guys, so get your singing voices ready. Here we go. We're going to sing Nandi happy birthday on the count of 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to Nandi. Happy birthday to Nandi. Happy birthday, dear Nandi. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Hopefully someone was playing that on a piano and a saxophone. My voice sounds great in a saxophone bass there. All right, so Nandi coming around, and I love that you guys made this kind of virtual forest for her. Now the trees are there not only as fun things for her to move around, but she also eats them.
Yeah, so the mesquite, the Chilean mesquite especially, is one of the absolute favorites, and she really enjoys that as one of her most favorite types of browse. But you can see watermelon probably takes the lead. So she's actually found that topper on her cake, which is a nice chunk of watermelon, and definitely some of her most favorite things. The only thing that we didn't have this time of year that she loves are pumpkins, but we'll be coming up on that time of year pretty soon.
Pumpkin season, fall is coming just around the corner, but man, it looks like she's loving that watermelon. And that ice treat is massive. How long did it take you guys to make that ice treat?
So it took us a week. We've learned through trial and error that if you're going to make a popsicle that big, you have to make it in layers and freeze it each day for about 7 days. So we spent a lot of time just layering it and freezing it and layering it and freezing it in our big walk-in freezer. And it took us about an hour to thaw it out of its big water tub. So it was a bit of a project for us.
All right, so all you parents out there making popsicles for your kids to keep them cool, imagine making elephant popsicles. That can definitely be a large endeavor, if you will. So Nandi at 3,600 pounds. Let's talk a little bit about the rest of the herd. We have Mom Samba, and then who else do we have?
So we have our newest calf, Nandi's little sister Penzi, who is 4.5 months, who we'll be letting out in just a minute as soon as Nandi gets a chance to take a first swipe at that cake. So we have also Nandi's big brother Sunzu. He's 9 years old, and then in the farther yard we have with Sunzu Mabu, his father, who's the father of Nandi and Penzi and Sunzu, who's about 13,500 pounds. And then Lingili, who's the aunt of the herd. Lingili does spend a lot of time watching after the youngsters.
So a true family herd here, and again, Nandi being the first elephant born in Reid Park Zoo, she was fairly historic. I mean, it's as far as we know, she's the only elephant that was born in the state of Arizona, and she was the only African elephant born in the United States in 2014. Those are the records that we have. As far as we know, she is the only one. So really historic to have an elephant birth. Gestation period for cows, 22 months. That's a long time. And when they are born, they're born fairly mature because they got to get up and start moving.
Yeah, so it's within minutes till they get up and start trying to nurse. So it's usually a really amazing process to see them first born and then immediately get up and start to try to do natural behavior. So it's quite an amazing quick response, and they're pretty ready to run and keep up with mom right in those first days. There have been researchers that have seen young calves move up to a mile in the first day that they're born. I'm gonna get the other guys moving.
Now, Nandi has been such a special elephant here at Reid Park Zoo and has represented so much. And today we're talking about growing up elephants. Are we going to let Penzi out too?
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to hold off on the video. We created a video of the last 6 years, kind of a compilation of her last 6 years here at the Reid Park Zoo. But I do want you guys to see Penzi. Now, it looks like my camera kind of went on the fritz here. Hang on, let me try to fix that. We're going to bring that back to us for a moment. There we go. And just with the lighting out here, it can get a little bit tricky on our camera angle. So hang on just a sec.
Yep.
All right. We're going to flip this around in a moment here. Hopefully you see what happens when Nandi's little sister comes out. All right, that's better. That reset itself. There we go. So we still have got Nandi enjoying this ice treat, soon to be joined. A one elephant party is not really a party, so we're going to let out the rest of them. So Samba, Penzi is going to be coming out. Now, Penzi, a 4-month-old, I mean, what an amazing thing that happens during the pandemic here at Reid Park Zoo. She was born April 6th, so just over 4 months now. And how is she doing?
She's doing great. She's has a lot of great social skills already. She's very advanced in her motor control and how she uses her trunk. I think the most amazing thing about her is her social relationship with the rest of the elephants, though. She and Nandi have a super close bond, and it's almost like Nandi has a shadow. She, whenever the two of them have the opportunity to be together, Penzi tends to just follow Nandi around and only want to spend time with her.
And it seems like Nandi is now moving off. She probably senses that Samba's coming out and Penzi's coming out, so she's going to kind of move down. Now, Samba plays an important role here with our herd, that she's the matriarch.
Yeah, so elephants are a matriarchal society, which means that they have a dominance hierarchy. So the bigger, older, more mature, wise females usually lead the herd. And the other elephants do have to make sure that they follow the directions of the matriarch. And that also means allowing the matriarch to claim the food sites first. So Nandi will probably let her mom enjoy some of the treats that she has. And
so Samba, Penzi coming out, they're crossing the river. Penzi's taking a little bit of a drink there. And now we're getting our first look today of our newest member of our elephant herd, of course, Penzi. As I said, she was born April 6th. Another amazing addition to our family, to our herd here at Reid Park Zoo. Now, Penzi was a big baby. We talked about Nandi weighing 245 pounds. What did Penzi weigh?
So Penzi was the largest baby in the herd that she comes from, and she was 295 pounds.
290,
so,
almost 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And now, as a 4-month-old, how is she doing, and what is her weight at?
So she's almost doubled her weight. So today she was ranging right around 580 pounds.
Wow, 580
so, yeah.
pounds. Now, Penzi's still nursing, but is she also eating some of the other food that the rest of the elephants eat?
Yeah, so she gets the most of her nutrition from nursing. She nurses every hour, but she's also really starting to eat a lot of the food. She's eating a lot of tree branches and hay and bits of produce. This month, I think one of her favorite things is beet pulp. So there's a little bit of a specialty formula we give them that she's starting to enjoy. And that's kind of the foundation of you know, her growing into an elephant with a natural diet, and it's pretty exciting.
Now, as we saw Samba and Penzi coming out, I want to turn it back to our little girl of the day, which isn't that little anymore, Nandi, and talk a little bit about her growing up here at the Reid Park Zoo. We actually have a video of some of her great milestones over the last 6 years that we're going to play for you guys. So hang on just a sec while we switch over to that video. And again, this is kind of a story of her life here, from when she was born, taking her first breaths, and again, that day of August 20th to, you know, when she ran into our hearts. And you said that Nandi was very adventurous, and we saw that from the very first day. This was a part where Nandi got stuck in the mud and Samba had to come save her.
Yeah, so Nandi has an extremely bold personality from the get-go. She spent her first couple days making a lot of interesting, bold moves. She was going into the deep wallows. She was traveling away from her mom. She has a really brave personality and wants to try everything out. Her little sister Penzi is a little bit more reserved and cautious with herself, but Nandi just has a very vibrant and enthusiastic
It's almost that she knew that the camera was on her and she wanted to be a part of that. I love this one where she's up on her ball. That was one of her favorite toys. And as you said, very independent. Now, this is as we're growing up, so you're going to see kind of a progression of her getting bigger and older, and doing some new behaviors, like being able to do some training that we're going to talk about in a little bit, and running with her mom. You can see that she's quite a bit larger than that 245 pounds that she started at. And then here's kind of a sequence of her 5 birthdays leading up to today, of her 6 birthdays. Her growing up here at the Reid Park Zoo. And I put in there the transformation. This was a video. She was probably about 6-7 months old, running into our elephant care facility. And then, of course, today she's running out as a 6-year-old. So what an amazing thing to be able to see Nandi grow up here.
Yeah, and Nandi, you can see she still has a quick pace to her. She likes to run. She's probably one of our fastest elephants, and super enthusiastic to come to her trainers and come meet each day.
Now, as we are coming back live to us here, hang on just a sec, there we go. We're gonna move this around because we're gonna go follow Nandi here. But as we're doing so, I wanna highlight one of our banners that Molly from our education team made. And we've got a little bit of a shadow here, but this again highlights that life of Nandi, of when she was born in 2014 to 2015 master training session, and tiny tusks emerge in 2017, becomes brave enough to walk away from mom to trainers. In 2018, brotherly love, enjoys playing with Sun Tzu. 2019 is fully weaned off milk, and 2020 she becomes a big sister. So thank you, Molly, for creating our amazing banners. We do wish that you guys were all here joining us today for happy birthday of Nandi. But we are still closed, but we do have good news. I'm sure you guys have all heard that the Reid Park Zoo is opening back up to the public. We will open on Wednesday and Thursday to our zoo members. That's this Wednesday and Thursday coming up, August 26th and 27th. And then the 28th of Friday will be general admission. Please do go to our website because everyone does need a ticket to get into the zoo. We are following strict and stringent health guidelines from our CDC, from our Arizona Health Department, and we are limiting the amount of people coming in each day, and we are asking that everyone wear a mask and make sure to bring water bottle because we have eliminated any of our high touch zones like our drinking fountains and our indoor spaces, our carousel giraffe feed. But we are super excited that we are going to be opening the zoo and you guys are going to be able to come in and see some of these animals for the first time. I mean, Penzi was born during the last 5 months and nobody's really been in to see her.
Yeah, we just can't wait for everyone to see her. A lot of times we'll be watching her as she travels around and explores her habitat. And I just really wish that other people could be seeing her, and it's super excited and we're super excited that you guys will be able to catch up with her pretty soon.
Now we introduced the rest of the herd. Mabu is our largest elephant, 13,500 pounds. He's the father of all of our youngsters here, Sun Tzu, Nandi, and Penzi. And the herd plays a really critical role in teaching people about elephants and in translating that education into the conservation work that we do. Now, we work with a conservationist, Dr. Charles Foley, out of the Tarangire National Park, who is doing amazing work in East Africa, in Tanzania. And it's so important for people to learn about elephants because unfortunately they're still threatened.
Yeah, so right now elephants they have a lot of risk right now. There's a lot of poaching that's still going on out in Africa. There's a lot of habitat loss. The biggest role that we have is trying to help preserve these animals and help inspire people to participate in conservation and learn more about elephants so that we can all get more involved and help protect these guys.
Okay, and this February, I actually had a unique opportunity to lead a trip to Tanzania, to the Tarangire National Park, and we got to catch up with Dr. Foley. I led that with Dr. Sue Tygalski. She is our Director of Zoo Operations. Her and I were able to go to Tanzania, to the Tarangire National Park, and catch up with Dr. Foley. Reid Park Zoo's been involved with the Tarangire National Park now for about 2 decades. And what an amazing conservation story. We have an interview that Sue was able to capture with Charles. So we're gonna play that interview for you guys. This is in the Tarangire National Park with Dr. Sue and with Charles.
How the population of elephants are doing here right now.
So Tarangire is one of those places where elephants are absolutely thriving. Mm-hmm. So there's been very, very little poaching in this ecosystem in the last 25 years. And as a result, elephant numbers have been going up and up and up. So when I first arrived in the park about 30 years ago, there were perhaps 2,000 elephants, and the last count, which was about 5 years ago, was about 4,200 elephants in this area.
That's amazing.
So the elephants are really thriving over here. In fact, it's really one of the best parks in Africa to see large herds of relaxed elephants.
Right. So what would you say that the other ranges, the other areas where you find elephants, that's not really the case in every habitat setting?
Correct. There are some areas where elephants are still being poached. So certainly in the forests of Central Africa, places like that. And So some populations are still being hard hit. And so it's great that this population not only is it's not just only stable, but it's actually increasing.
And you think that's in part to the rangers as well as ecotourism that have helped prevent poaching, right, and preserving land?
That's right. That's right. So you have a relatively small park. It's well protected by the rangers, but also people come and visit, and that brings money into the economy, and that helps pay park fees, which then helps pay the rangers, and it helps protect the land and the animals, etc. And it's a positive feedback mechanism.
That's so exciting because it's not every day that you get to share a real, true success story.
And what a true success story it has been. As Charles said, when he first got to the Tarangire National Park, there was only about 2,000 elephants there. Now, over 4,000 elephants, a true testament to the power of conservation and what that can do. The Tarangire National Park is such an important kind of stopover point for all those animals during droughts because of the Tarangire River. And it's such an important part to protect for all of those animals. And conservation leads directly back to here, to Reid Park Zoo. So people always ask, well, what can they do? They're not in Africa. There's, they're not right there. So what can they do? And what do you tell them?
So I think the most important thing that we can do to help protect elephants is to learn more about them and to get involved and support organizations that do elephant conservation. So just by learning more and listening to our program today, you're supporting us in our efforts to help conserve elephants. So Reid Park Zoo is very involved in these conservation programs, and just by supporting and listening to our programs, you're part of that.
Absolutely. And as you said, Reid Park Zoo has been a partner with Dr. Foley for the last 15 years. And in doing so, we are a main contributor to the success that the Tarangire National Park has had. And that's all due to you guys out there watching this, listening, that are zoo members, that have fed the giraffe, that have rode the carousel, that have gotten a food item at our restaurant, that have gotten something at our gift shop, that have come into our events, that have supported us in any way, shape, or form. You guys are a part of the success of the Tarangire National Park. And that's what it all works. That's how it all works. That's how conservation exists. And we talk about ecotourism, which is an important part on the ground for conservation. But us here, we bring in 500,000 guests every year. There's close to 200 million guests that visit AZA accredited zoos across the United States. And that's an important role that zoos have to connect people with their animals that then turns into passion and conservation.
Yeah, so I think that one of the most important things in celebrating Nandi's birthday is using her message. So Nandi's here to remind everybody to not let elephants disappear. So it's really important when you connect with an elephant like Nandi that you understand that there's a lot of other elephants out there that we can be helping.
All right, so great work, guys. You guys are doing your part of conservation, so keep that up. Now, Cassie, we talked about milestones for a 6-year-old elephant, Nandi, and one of the ways that you measure milestones is through training, and we train all of our animals here. We have a training video that we were able to obtain just a couple weeks ago of you working with Nandi. So let's talk through a little bit about first, why do we train, and why do we train the behaviors?
So all the behaviors that we train our elephants to do are voluntary. It's positive reinforcement. So if they do what we ask, they get a reward. But all these things that we do is to help us take better care of them, to assess their health, and to be able to do preventative care. So Nandi's trained to allow us to check her mouth, to check her body parts, also to be able to stretch and see how she's moving her body, make sure she's healthy and that has all of her limbs are flexible and that she's not sore in any part. So a lot of these things that we do, we can assess them each day to see their energy level. Some of these behaviors are just really stimulating for them. So Nandi's a really creative elephant and she's very, very excited about training. So a lot of her training sessions tend to be very creative and she likes to try and offer different behaviors that are new and creative and interesting. And a lot of her behaviors are also super important for us to be able to assess her health. She is trained to allow us to draw blood out of her ear. So we can use a really small leaf needle and get small amounts of blood, and she'll willingly, voluntarily allow us to do that. And that helps us assess her, but additionally, we're also using some of that blood in a big research study that's really progressive, that's helping us learn more about elephant viruses and save elephants in the wild and in other zoos. So Nandi's making a really huge contribution through her training to help her health, but also to participate in keeping other elephants healthy.
Yeah, and one of the things that we want to mention is you don't go in with the elephant, so this is all done from a protective barrier.
Yeah, so we do protected contact, which means that our elephants have their own space. We're always on the other side of a fence line or a barrier. So they have free choice to walk away at any time and make their choices on how they want to interact with us. But when we do that type of training, it actually makes the experience very exciting for them. And that's one of her most favorite parts of her day. All of our elephants are very motivated. It's kind of like a little interactive game each day. If she can figure out what we're asking her to do, she gets a reward and she gets a little bit more attention. So it's something that our elephants are very excited about.
And as you said, we're using this not only to assess our animals here at the zoo, get weights on them, to kind of assess their joints and their body condition, but we are also using this a lot for research. So you said that these guys will voluntarily allow for blood draws, and we are working with San Diego, right, to be able to do research on elephants, and Nandi now is a part of that. I mean, what a big role for a 6-year-old.
Yeah, so we really want to make sure that we're using all the resources that we can and make sure that our elephants can help other elephants.
And training is such an important part, and I love it because whenever I watch you guys train the elephants, you will call their name and they come running to you. I mean, as you said, it's choice-based training, so it's up to them. They can walk away whenever they want to, but these guys start running to you guys. I mean, they enjoy the interaction that they have with you. It's mentally stimulating, it's physically stimulating, and it looks like they have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, so it is one of the highlights of their day. The elephants will all really seek us out if we're doing training sessions, and they do like the food, but they also like the interaction. Elephants are very, very social. The social component's super important to them.
Okay, so we're going to flip this back around. Nandi is still over on the side there, but I want to flip this around to Penzi. Penzi's been kind of running all over the place. She went and visited her dad, Mabu, and Lungili, who's an allo mother. We call her an aunt here, but she's an allo mother that helps to take care of an elephant like Nandi. So that has been weaned. Samba is really focusing now on Penzi. So an adult female elephant that's an allo mother is another critical role that is played in a herd. And Penzi is just kind of exploring the whole world. So let's talk a little bit about now Nandi's role with Penzi, because when Nandi was born, we had Sun Tzu as big brother, and I feel like they interacted, but it wasn't like, it was just kind of like, hey, how are you doing? And then Sun Tzu would go off and do his own thing, and that's not what we've seen with Nandi.
Yeah, so since elephants are matriarchal, the females have a different relationship. They tend to spend their whole lives together, and the young females take that role really seriously. So right from the start, as soon as the first day that Penzi was born, Nandi took a role in watching over her. She does make sure that she greets her each morning and checks her out. It's usually the first thing that they do when they encounter each other is Nandi will check her and smell her. Penzi does really prefer to hang out with Nandi. She kind of acts as her shadow and watches her.
And as we're saying that, we're going to go over here because Penzi's actually going to get Nandi. Oh, hold on. Let me get my connection back here. Hang on just a sec. We're trying to be mobile with all this equipment. All right, let's see if that, hang on. All right, here we go. Sorry, I've got this long cable that I stepped on as we're going, because as we're talking, Nandi and Penzi are like hanging out over here.
Yeah, so Penzi will watch everything Nandi does. Elephants learn from watching each other. They learn through learning. They have a big part of their life is about learning from each other and learning proper social skills. So Nandi will see what, Penzi will watch what Nandi eats. She'll see where she decides to wallow, how she cools down, where she drinks water. It's a big part of the process. The males do have very close social bonds as well, but they do tend to be not quite as long-term. The males will grow up with their families until they're reproductively mature, and then they'll travel off and usually be part of bull herds, and until they're big enough like Mabu to be a breeding male, and then they'll usually escort female groups. But they still have to have a lot of social skill to be able to interact with other elephants.
Yeah, I mean, the relationship that Nandi has with Penzi has been extraordinary to be able to watch, to see. I mean, it's like she's her mentor, she's her trainer. She's taken her under her ears, we'll say, since they don't have wings, they got big ears, and she plays, and she's really teaching her the ropes. And you know, you guys are seeing that live right now happening, and this is great for Nandi down the road, because if she has an offspring of her own, this gives her that kind of education on what to do for her own offspring.
Yeah, so Nandi's definitely learning a lot about how to behave around youngsters. Sometimes if she's a little too pushy or forceful with Penzi, which rarely occurs, Samba will make sure.
And Jed, I'm not sure if you guys are talking or not, but we cannot hear you at the moment. So if you can please let me know if you're having technical difficulties.
Okay, let's see. How about now? Can you hear us now?
Yep, you're good now.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, we just weren't holding our devices in the right position there. Yeah, so again, watching Nandi and Penzi, and we were talking that Nandi is teaching Penzi good elephant manners, which is important. These guys live as a family group. Everybody knows with their families that we need to be able to have good manners, and elephant manners are extremely important to be able to have, especially to make sure you don't, mess up with the matriarch. And so that's good for the 6-year-old to be teaching the 4-month-old.
Yeah, definitely. So Penzi's got a lot to learn, but she's got a really good teacher with Nandi. She also spends a lot of time following around Lingili. So yesterday, Lingili and her spent a lot of time traveling off together, and it's really great for her to have multiple adult elephants to interact with.
Yeah, so that's Lingili. What about Sunzu? He's a 9-year-old. How is he taken to Penzi?
So Sunzu's very gentle with Penzi. He met her on her first day, but he is a little bit more excited about doing boy things. So right now he's wrestling with Mabu. Him being a young bull, his priorities are playing kind of rough. So he really likes to kind of glob on to his dad, and that's where he puts most of his social effort.
And Mabu, dad, he's a great dad. He's been able to observe several offspring and interact with them. And 13,500 pounds, he dwarfs Penzi at, even 600 pounds, less than 600 pounds. But what a gentle giant he is.
Yeah, so, it's really great that we have a natural herd structure here. Mabu, having grown up with a natural herd structure, he learned as a youngster to be gentle around calves. So that's one of the first lessons that elephants need to learn in their family groups. And that was a lesson that we saw Sunzu learn with Nandi. And it's also a lesson that Nandi's learning with Penzi. So as they get larger and travel through their lives, they, keep these lessons and know how to appropriately interact with each other.
What an amazing story. Growing up here at the Reid Park Zoo, Nandi, our 6-year-old elephant. Jen, I think at this time, if we have anybody that has any questions out there, Cassie and I might be able to answer any questions that people are having. Do we have anyone?
We do. One actually came through the chat a bit earlier in the program regarding their reaction to thunderstorms and lightning and wind. And since it is monsoon season, supposed to be monsoon season anyway, if you guys could if you guys can touch in a little bit about how the elephants react to that.
Yeah, so that is something that we really watch closely too. Surprisingly, every time we feel a little concerned if the weather is really intense, we'll give them access so that they can get under shelter. But we do check on them during those storms. The other night when the storm blew through, we pulled up cameras and we're watching to see how Lingili and Nandi were handling the big lightning storm, and they were playing in the mud wallow. So they played for about a half an hour during the storm. It is something that they tend to celebrate. Elephants, when the weather kicks up, if it snows or rains, they do tend to swim and wallow and really celebrate weather activities.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem like it bothers them too much. And as you said, when it starts to rain, we tend to see them go right in the pool. Now, we do have a pool. The elephants do like to get in and swim, but we've been cautious about filling the whole thing up for Penzi. So we're letting her kind of get used to that pool and before she takes the big dive in.
Yeah, so right now we have the pool about halfway full. We are having the other elephants still utilize it. Sandu and Ngili and Mabu have been using it quite a bit still. But we're just wanting to make sure Penzi's confident in that area before we fill it up much more.
And I saw one question come through just now. Do you think the elephants miss the people?
You know, I think the elephants, their priority is their social interaction with each other. They do enjoy people interaction too, but mostly that's with their trainers. I think the ones that really miss having guests here are the keepers. Every time they do something really cute, we look around and wish that there was somebody else to see it with us. So we're really trying to put a lot of video out for you guys and visitors again.
Yeah, and hopefully you guys are staying tuned to our web cameras. We do have 2 web cameras on our elephant habitat, our main one, and then there's one over on our west side of the space there. So we know you guys have been staying tuned to those web cameras, so thank you guys. It's been a crazy time these last 5 months with this pandemic. We've all had to pivot. We've all had to try to figure out what to do here and to try to keep you guys connected. And that's why we're doing this virtual birthday. We definitely did not want to miss Nandi's birthday here. I'm trying to fix my camera because they're being very cute here and my camera is picking up on different colors. So hang on just a sec here and let me see if I can pick this up because Nandi is now sharing her birthday cake with Penzi. There we go. That's a little bit better. So Jennifer, do we have any other questions?
We do. So 2 questions about Nandi came in. One is, does she have a favorite fruit? And 2, after a busy day like this, does Nandi have a bedtime?
Yeah, Nandi does, being still a bit of a youngster, she does like to take naps still. She'll usually take a nap in the afternoon. Elephants only sleep about 4 to 5 hours a day. So we usually see them laying down sometime around 10 o'clock and sleeping for a couple hours at a time. But on a day like today, I imagine this afternoon when she comes in to cool down, she might take a little siesta.
And I apologize again about our camera. It keeps on kind of losing coloration and focus there, but I'm going to keep working with it till we get it right. There we go. I'm trying to hold it right here. And yeah, we know that there's so many of you guys celebrating Nandi's birthday. We actually have our child that's out there. So our child, Juliet's our little girl. She was born the same year as Nandi. So both 6-year-olds. So hi, Jules. Hopefully you guys are having fun watching. And Jen, do we have some other questions?
Yeah, so I think one of our last questions is when are female elephants full grown? So when can we expect Nandi to be her full size?
So elephants tend to grow their whole life. So they just gradually get bigger and bigger. And Nandi will be probably considered adult size when she's around 10 to 13. That's when they start to reach reproductive maturity, but she will continue to grow. As we've had Samba here over the years in her adult life, she's grown and gotten much taller. So we do see continuous growth throughout their lives.
Yeah, we talked about Nandi and her weight. What about Samba? What's a normal adult female weight? We know that the males upwards 13 to 14,000 pounds. What about Lingili and Samba?
So Lingili is closer to 6,500. Samba's closer to 7,500. She still has a little bit of pregnancy weight, but we're letting her work it off slowly so that she makes sure she shares a lot of her food with Penzi.
So somewhere around like 6,500, 7,500 pounds is kind of good average weight for an adult female. And then obviously the big bulls can get much larger, 13, even 14,000 pounds. So, you know, elephants, I think, kind of continue to grow throughout their entire lives, like a little bit at a time, right?
Yeah, so we do. Mabu has grown over his life, and it's not necessarily been exactly weight gain. It's been a lot of height gain as well.
Yep. So, all right, guys. Well, we just want to again thank you for joining us here at Expedition Tanzania, Reid Park Zoo, growing up elephant for Nandi's 6th birthday. So many years we have celebrated Nandi's birthday, and we did not want to stop it for this one. So we are going to reach you no matter how we need to do that. Again, I just want to thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you for your support of Reid Park Zoo. And again, people ask, what can they do? You guys are doing it right now. You guys are helping elephants all over the continent of Africa and Asia just by watching and being a part of Reid Park Zoo. We do have a couple special things that are going on our website. We have a special Adopt an Elephant, Adopt an Animal package. So that's a special that's going to be going on through Sunday. And then we do have a local artist, a famous artist, Diana Medeiros, who did a painting of Nandi, but also has done a painting of Penzi. So she did a painting of Nandi when she was a baby. And I think Jennifer's got a picture right here that we're going to show. So it's a beautiful picture. Diana Medeiros, so well known throughout Tucson here and Arizona and globally. I mean, she's really a global artist. So part of the proceeds from the selling of that picture will go to support Reid Park Zoo. Diana Medeiros has just done so much for the zoo and for animals, such an inspiration for her to paint Nandi and now Penzi. So a couple of things that you guys can do. All that information is on our website. So make sure if you want to see anything that's going on, go to reidparkzoo.org. Reidparkzoo.org. That's how you're going to be able to access the webcams. That's how you're going to be able to access our amazing education programs. That's how you're going to be able to access any of our virtual programs, get information about our events, get information about how to adopt an animal, become a member, the conservation work we do. Everything is right there. So please go take a look at that. Also, make sure that you guys are going on to our website and getting a ticket before you come to the zoo. Okay, remember, we are opening up this next Wednesday and Thursday, the 26th and 27th for our zoo members. You do need to reserve a ticket. Doesn't cost our zoo members anything, but you do need to reserve a ticket. And it might actually already be sold out because we are only opening up a limited amount. So please go to our website to do that so you know all the information before you get to the zoo on how everything is going to work, because we want you guys to have a successful trip here, and we want you guys to come in and see all the amazing animals. I think they miss them. I miss all of you guys being here too. As Cassie was saying, we turn around and we, you know, the animals are doing something amazing, and we're like, where is everyone? Why didn't they see that? So Cassie, I think you kind of said it best on the importance of Nandi, the importance of our elephant herd. So I'm going to let you kind of close this out in why it's so important for people to care about animals, to care about elephants.
Yeah, so in celebrating Nandi's birthday, we really want to celebrate elephants around the world. We want to make sure that they can continue to celebrate their lives. Nandi's here to remind the world to not let elephants disappear. And we recently had World Elephant Day this last week, and it's just amazing that Nandi's birthday falls in line with that. It's a great opportunity for us to share with you how incredible elephants are and for challenge you to get involved and help us protect these guys.
What would a world be without elephants? It's not a world that I want to see. We can make a difference. We can make a change. You guys are doing it right now. We've seen the benefits of conservation with Dr. Foley's project. This is not a problem that we cannot solve. We need to all be part of the solution. And I thank you guys for being part of that solution with us here at the Reid Park Zoo, and for joining us this morning for Growing Up Elephant, Nandi's 6th birthday, celebrating World Elephant Day, all of our elephants around the world. And we just want to again thank you. Our community is amazing, and we hope to see you guys very soon. So with that, we will say goodbye from Expedition Tanzania, Growing Up Elephant. We hope to see you guys soon. You guys have a wonderful Saturday, rest of your weekend, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Can't wait to see you.
Bye, guys.